Okay, so I know I just said in my last video that I don't like YouTube Shorts. However, friend of the channel here, the Sham, has been saying some based things on his YouTube Shorts, and so I figured why not do a little bit of an informal collab of sorts and react to said based things and give my commentary on it as well, because we're all just trying to be based here, right? So yeah, this is the Redacted series from the Sham, and we will get into it in 3, 2, 1, go.
So I'm obviously going to have Peter here in the background, but we're going to change up the whole thing where it's going to be called Redacted. Stop it. You know what really gets me to that point where I had to say Redacted? This whole little concept of let's make this to the point where let's be more open with our role plays and kinks and stuff like that. Like, bro, no.
Redacted! Yes. So instead of canceling, we are redacting. And I absolutely agree with this. I've really never been that comfortable discussing this sort of sexual stuff with people. Never have. I tried, everyone else, was doing it for a while, and I tried to get over it, but I just can't. I don't like talking about it. So, yeah, guys, keep it to yourselves, please. There are some of us who just don't want to hear about it. We're not comfortable with it, so just please be quiet.
Like, if you want to have those kind of mindsets, keep it inside. So, Redacted, stop it. Because it's really, really freaking weird when it gets open in the public. You want to have those kinds of thoughts? Keep it inside. Do not give it to the public. You're just going to make yourself you're going to make yourself a fool. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, I do not want to hear about what you do with what holes. That's... No. No more. No more hoarding.
And you know what else is also giving me like that point where I gotta redact this whole thing out of my head? This whole little concept of literally giving everyone fear, because yeah, fear is the only thing that could get a person to be more onto the point of let's say doom scrolling, or having to figure out how are they gonna live their lives.
Be yourselves.
We want to take W's. Stop it. I hate this whole concept of doing fear as something that is good. No. Redact that. Give us W's. Give us hope. Give us stuff like that, and we'll definitely see a definite shift and change. And you know what's another thing?
So yeah, basically fear sells. You can try to make positive videos, or headlines or whatever, but the fearful ones always do better, because that's just kind of human nature. We like to threat detect. Basically, what's possibly going to get us. It's a survival method and human nature. So I don't think, obviously, the internet sort of amps it up to 11 sometimes, but I don't think that this is necessarily going to go away at all, because, like I said, it's human nature to seek this stuff out. And to a degree, obviously, you do have to know about some bad things that are going on for your own protection and information. But yeah, that's basically that. Basically, what I would say is, just try not, for your own self, try not to get too worked up about stuff. Obviously, pay attention, know what's going on to a degree, but don't dwell on things too much. Touch grass, as they say.
That also gives me the the fact that I'm literally watching a stream, and still again I keep on getting those damn ads about predictions,
ad blockers.
You could be the one in control, and
he's talking about
this
gambling.
App will give you $500 in money to start it off. No, redact that. Stop it. We gotta freaking stop pushing this whole narrative of gambling. It's not good. It's really not good. Stop. Like, don't push them to freaking spend whatever they have in their pocket or whatever they have. Like, stop it. Redact it. Stop it. No more.
Yes, and I already made like an hour-long video on that, so yay, I'm on this exact same train. Never gambled. Never will gamble. It's a waste of time. So that was the first short. We'll go to the second one.
But alright. So we're back at it again now with the new setup of Redacted. Stop it. Now, let's talk about some stuff that I feel like should be redacted. Stop it. The whole concept of people just being to the point of relying on AI companionship as, like, I definitely, I can't do the basic, which is talk to someone, make a conversation, and possibly have a relationship with them. Like, I literally have to go to the point of getting my phone and talking with an AI that will never disregard me, knowing that will go bad, give Companion, the one that I just checked out of the YouTube short, give it a check and see what I meant by that. Stop it.
Yep, so there's a good movie about this that came out in 2013 called Her, very ahead of its time. It's basically about a guy who's kind of socially awkward, and he ends up getting this new OS, as they call it, operating system, and he ends up in a relationship with it. And at first it's kind of weird, but some people accept it and say, okay, well, you do you, buddy. And eventually it gets to the point where everyone else is also dating their OSs, and it kind of ruins it for the guy, because he doesn't feel like he's being exclusive, or that his AI girlfriend is being exclusive with him, because, well, she's technically talking to millions of other people. And yeah, that movie, I'm glad that I waited to watch it until after all of this AI stuff happened and after COVID and all that, because back in 2013, I probably wouldn't have understood what this movie was supposed to be about, because we didn't really have all that stuff. It was very ahead of its time. But yeah, it's a very relevant movie all these years later, and it only gets more relevant. Personally, I only use AI basically as a advanced form of, like, Google, basically. Like, if I want to know stuff, if I want to research stuff, I will use it, and obviously, check sources as well. Never been into this whole, well, I'm gonna talk to Grok or ChatGPT or whatever to get, personal validation. I've never gone that far, because I already, came to the conclusion intellectually myself that that's not a good route to go down. So AI is great for a lot of things, but don't replace human interaction with it, please. Whether that be a romantic interaction or even just a platonic one, you gotta still talk to humans. Unfortunately, I'm an introvert. I don't necessarily want to always talk to people, but you got to.
Redact that. Come on, be better. Come on. Get out of your comfort zone. Go ahead and talk, and you'll see, you might get the chance. If you don't, try again. There's always a second try. Another thing that really gets to me, where I literally have to say redacted, stop it, is this whole concept of when you're working at a fast food place and you're being so pushy, saying that, oh, I ordered this minutes ago, like, why is it taking so long? Knowing the fact that it's a rush, knowing the fact that they're literally working as it's going with the process that they're given. I literally don't like how people are just so angry to the point of, like, bro, like, if you want to get food, why don't you make it yourself? Like, redact it. Stop it. Don't pressure the people that do cooking in the fast food industry or just any place that offers food, please.
Yes. So, obviously, for your own self-preservation, you don't want to do this because they're making the food, right? And you don't want to piss off the people that are feeding you, because this may be not good of them or illegal of them, but they can intentionally mess it up by doing some things to it behind your back. Not saying that's a good thing. I do not recommend doing that. If you work in any food place, do not put nasty stuff in other people's food just because you're pissed off at them, because they're being pissy at you, or for whatever reason. Obviously, that's not a good thing, but let's be real here. We all know that it has happened before, and you do not want to be on the wrong end of that. So be nice to the people working at the restaurants. And I mean, yeah, I've never been one to get angry at a restaurant. For even if they mess up my order, as long as I'm getting like an equivalent value of food, like, oh, you gave me the onion rings instead of the fries. Well, oh, I'm not gonna say anything. It's fine. It's basically the same amount of food. I like onion rings as well. Unless something is really wrong, I'm not gonna say anything, because I mean, these people working in the service industry, I know that they have to deal with assholes all day, probably, and I don't want to be that guy to add on to it. It's basically common courtesy. And also, these people are often not working for the greatest of wages either. It's like, 99 times out of 100, I know that the person who's serving me food is making less money than I am, probably working more hours. I mean, I do work a lot of hours, but potentially working a lot of hours, or they're working more hours than I am, and still probably not making as much money. The least I can do is be pleasant. Alright, it's just basic common courtesy. Be nice to the staff. Don't give them a reason to spit in your food. Alright?
Like, come on, like, be more respectable. If you were in their shoes, you would also be feeling like having a shitty day. Like, you don't want that. You want to have a nice day where they're getting the food ready for you, and when you give it, you get a smile after eating that. Like, come on, redact that. Be better. Stop it. But alright, it's your favorite YouTube short. It's the talk show of Redacted. Stop it. And here we are. You know what really gets me to the point where I literally have to say, redact this, stop it? It's the whole point where you're literally driving to get to your destination. Then it's a busy place where a lot of people go to shop or go to eat. But you know what really gets to me to that point where I really gotta say, redact it.
What is it?
Stop it. What are you doing? Is when people literally do not press the light that gives you the indication, oh yeah, you could cross. They literally see the green light and just freaking pass, knowing that if you're passing by because you have the right of passage to go ahead because they can't, because the icon is saying stop, they still end up complaining. It's like, dude, you could have hit me. Look at the damn light.
Okay, alright. I might have an opinion about pedestrians that some people won't like. Basically, there are some situations where, legally speaking, pedestrians have the right of way over vehicles. My thought on that, whether I'm in a vehicle or whether I am the pedestrian, is that I think that you have to have, even if it's legally the pedestrian has the right of way, you always have to have the mindset of the vehicle has the true right of way. And what I mean by that is that, let's say a collision happens. Who do you think is going to win? The flesh suit human or the several ton metal motorized vehicle? Obviously, the vehicle is going to win that battle every single time. So if you're a pedestrian, you got, I don't care if it's technically your right of way, you still have to pay attention, okay? It's for your own safety, it's for my own, peace of mind as a driver of a vehicle that, okay, you know that I'm here, and if I don't see you, if I make a mistake, I don't want to potentially hurt somebody because they weren't paying attention either. So please, when you're crossing the street, whenever you're driving or walking or whatever, whenever you're around moving vehicles, please pay attention to your surroundings. Thank you.
The icon didn't have the damn walking, so redact it. Stop it. Be better. Be conscious. Or else, don't be so mad that you think you're gonna get hit knowing that you don't have the right of passage.
Yes, and don't have squirrel logic. I swear to God, I've seen some people, they will start crossing the street, and then they'll see a vehicle, and then they'll like start darting back and forth, like they don't know. Oh, should I continue crossing the street? Should I get off the street? They start freaking out like a damn squirrel. All right, you know what I'm talking about? You see you see a squirrel, it goes out into the road, and then it freaks out because there's cars, and so it starts darting all over the place, and you don't want to hit it, but you also don't know what its next move is. Don't be like that. If you're going to cross the street, just, commit to it and get across the street, obviously, unless there's like some truck barreling down the road and you don't have time, then obviously get out of the way. But if you're gonna cross the street, just do it. Don't take it back halfway through and, just cause problems for everyone. Just, yeah, no squirrel logic.
I literally gotta specify that because it's literally happened twice. I'm sorry, but be better, people. The other thing that gets me to the point where I literally gotta say redacted, stop it, is the whole transition of the chips. Because I get it, like we're going through inflation and stuff like that, but obviously this ain't political talk. This is going to the point that whenever I get my freaking favorite chips, why do I freaking gotta pay so high for literally half to almost damn near the whole bag being full of air with little chips? Come on, redacted.
Oh, brother, this has been a problem for like 20 years. It's been a problem since the 2000s. The 2000s. Maybe even before. I don't know. I remember being in school. This was a topic of discussion. Why are the bags of chips half full of air now? So this has been a problem for a while, and obviously the bags of chips cost more today than they did back in 2008 or whatever, 2007, 2009, 2010. Obviously, we got to pay more for these bags of chips, and the air content has not decreased. If anything, the chip content has decreased. But it's been decreased for a long time. And it is for this reason why I've never really been a massive chip eater. I like chips. I like the sour cream and onion chips the most, I think. Also, sea salt and vinegar is a very good chip flavor, but I really don't eat chips that often because it's basically a luxury, to be honest. They cost a lot of money, and you don't get a lot of food. So, I would much rather eat something that is more wholesome, more filling, that actually satisfies me, and costs less money than a bag of chips, which tastes great, but you don't really get much out of it. So, yep, it's I basically treat it as a luxury food at this point.
Stop it. Come on, help us out. We're hungry here. Like, those chips, I know it's inflation time, but still, I want a decent size of air and chips. Don't give me full air and no chip, because that really gets me to the point of I'm just gonna be sad.
Oh man.
So that is what I got.
Yep, like I said though, this has been a problem for literally decades. They put way too much air in these chip bags. Alright, last short on the Redacted series.
Alright, so we're back at it again with your favorite YouTube short moment of Redacted. Stop it. And man, there's two things I really wanted to talk about, and one of them was, you know, what gets me to the point where I literally have to say redacted, stop it, is now this whole new law implementation of, you know, how we had the penny, and you know how
It's upside down. It's upside down. What are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, this is inflation, right? The penny was actually my favorite coin for a long time, because I liked finding the old wheat pennies, you know? Those were always fun, especially as a kid. I used to find more of them as a kid because, you know, that was a longer time ago, and over time, there wasn't as many wheat pennies because other people kept saving them. But of course, yeah, we don't got that anymore because the banks won't give you pennies anymore, so you pretty much just have to find them in your spare change, maybe a small handful at a time. You can't get the full bankrolls of them anymore, which is sad, but you know, it was bound to happen eventually. I think Canada, they got rid of their penny like in 2012, 2011, something like that. So it was bound to happen to us eventually too.
decided to cancel it and stop the production of pennies overall.
Yeah,
they're going with the law that if you don't have the exact change, there is a roundup or a downgrade. Meaning, if you have close to being a 5-cent change, you get it. But if you are on the top of it being almost like $1, you lose the 2-penny charge. And that's a moment what I would have to say, redacted. Stop it. Like, why are we having to go through this concept of, oh yeah, the penny's gone, so that means you're gonna get fucked. And if you want to pay for shit, now it has to be exact change or it has to be credit card. That literally makes no logical sense. But then again, I'm just a person giving my thoughts about this, and it's literally moments that give me the whole redacted, stop it, because it's just nonsense.
Yeah, so I've definitely used credit card a lot more lately. It's just kind of convenient, and as long as you pay your credit card bill off on time, it's really not a big deal to use credit card. Obviously, you want to have good financial sense, pay your bill on time, otherwise it hurts your credit score, and then you can't do things like take out a loan, or it's going to be harder for you to do stuff like that, and the interest on late credit card payments is absolutely terrible. You will get screwed over so hard. These interest rates are very high, and that is how these credit card companies make their money, because some people like me, I'll pay off the credit card and, you know, it'll be fine. But some people do not have that financial sense, and they will just think, oh, it's like free money. I can put it on the card and then not pay the card, and it's like free money. No, that's not how it works. You still have to pay the card, but now you also have to additionally pay the interest on that, and enough people do that they get into this interest debt that is how the credit card companies make their money. I know I'm kind of going on a tangent. We're talking about pennies here, but yeah, that is basically how credit cards work, and you need to make sure you're paying them off. Also, as far as the exact change thing, I've noticed, at least where I live, most of the time the store will often end up giving you back a little more than, like, I've never had it where if I owe $1.99 and I give them $2, that they're just going to keep the $2. No, usually they will find a penny somewhere in their cash register box or something to give it back and give me back my change. But if I owe $2.01 and I give them $2, usually they don't ask for that 1 cent. They'll just kind of write it off. So for the most part, I think they do round it in your favor as convenience to the customer. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of angry people. And, you know, it's just something that these stores will kind of go with to keep their customers happy. But yeah, if we're gonna lose the 1 cent coin to general circulation, obviously I think we're just gonna have to start rounding things to the nearest 5 with the nickel. Although eventually we will probably be going to a cashless society, unfortunately. That is the direction things have been going for a long time. I don't necessarily like it, but it is what it is. And we're all going to be using credit cards. So that is what I think about that.
And the other thing that gets me to the point where I am saying, redacted, stop it, is now this overall high pricing of gas and also for energy. Because I get it, like, we're going to this path of me not trying to talk about politics, but it's kind of hard to not talk about it when you have things in the outside that is literally messing with you, like gas and energy. Like the things are high. Like, I want to go to the point where I have to say, redacted, stop it, because bro, we just want to pay for our shit that is not gonna damper us in the long run. Like, I want to be able to afford everything and not have to worry about later on really high prices where I'm like, damn, I don't know if I could spend any more pennies on or another cent on this, knowing that it's just never gonna go down.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously we're not going to get into the current geopolitical situations going on, but you know, eventually the war is gonna close down eventually. Eventually, I think that gas prices particularly, it may not come down as much as what it was before, because inflation, you know, that's all true. Inflation just keeps happening for a variety of reasons, not just whatever, you know, current thing is happening, like a war or whatever. But, you know, once things kind of calm down, I do think that the prices of gas will come down a little bit. I don't know when that's going to be. Hopefully sooner rather than later. You know, I don't want that situation to go on for a really long time. Obviously, the sooner it gets resolved, the better. Praying for, you know, all the innocent people involved. The not innocent people, the terrorist types, I don't really care about those people, but all of the innocent people, you know, hopefully they can stay okay. And as far as, you know, getting back to the energy prices, gas prices, yeah, I do think gas prices will eventually go down some if this can get resolved. But also, generally, with energy prices, there's the whole AI data center thing. That's another thing that's pushing up energy prices. And I don't really know what to do about that, but, you know, it is what it is. And finally, there's simply the money printing. The biggest cause of inflation is always the money printing. And there's reasons for that, reasons why they do that. One thing, it makes the cost of energy, or no, it makes the cost of debt, less, because if you have $38 trillion of debt, or whatever we have at this point, if you make the value of the dollar less, well then that $38 trillion of debt is now not worth as much. So, you know what that means? We can borrow even more money, which means that we have to inflate the currency again, which means that we can borrow more money, which, yeah, it's a bad cycle. It doesn't benefit any of us, but it is the system that we currently live in, unfortunately. And really, realistically speaking, no one's doing anything about it at the moment. So, you know what? We as ordinary people just gotta do what we can in the meantime.
But yeah, that'll be all for this moment. We'll see what other stuff comes out in mind, but this was your daily dose of the redacted Stop It moment, brought to you by the Sham.
Alright, good stuff. And that is all for us today. These were some based takes. And yeah, check out the Sham if you get the opportunity, and also check out more of my stuff. Alright, that's it. Bye.
Crazy.